Similar, guys. I've actually been following the story about Nozipho Ntshangase, and um, the video is not really to dwell upon that family because again, it's an intimate family that has kids and need to look after themselves. But it's around the hypocrisy that we have as abantu abamnyama, you know. So just to give a bit of a background to those that don't know. There is a lady by the name of Nozipho Ntshangase, who is a celebrity because she is in a reality show. She's married to a gentleman by the name of Zola, and her have 8 children, and they were trending a couple of weeks ago because of a video that was taken clearly without his knowledge as the person who this video is about, where it comes across, or it seems across as if Nozipho and the children are trying to negotiate with the father to stay and not go and to listen to them. And, you know, and he then becomes verbally aggressive again, because I would assume, well, he also says it a little bit, but he does feel as if they just sprung this on him, you know. So it wasn't a situation where one person came, but he just feels like this intervention was just sprung on him, you know. So the whole controversial thing that society or social media has been going about is because Zola, the guy, is or has rather lobolad a second potential wife, you know, and is going through to get a marriage, the second wife, you know. I don't know, you know. But social media has been going crazy. How dare this man? How dare this man? And I've been watching so many videos on YouTube just about this topic, and I've been asking simple questions. Guys, from a traditional cultural point, what is this guy doing wrong? Like, someone please guide me, you know. First and foremost, again, this is a very sensitive issue that is a family issue. I know most people that are commenting don't know the intricacies about the actual family. You know, there's people that are saying Nozipho is looking after all these kids by herself. Meanwhile, there's been statements saying she doesn't know how she's going to handle the dynamics now by herself. Like, when you read these things, so many are contradicting. So we can't comment as if we are in this house. We are talking to OCC individually. We are talking to Upoti. Even when Nozipho released a video, her video was a video of gratitude and saying thank you to people who are supporting her throughout what she is going through. Guys, you must understand, I'm not saying things are going Nozipho's way. I'm saying, what is he doing that is going against culture? That's what I'm trying to understand. Is Nozipho disgruntled? She seems so. She seems like she's not liking any second of it. Again, guys, we might all sympathize with Nozipho, but from a cultural point, what is he, Zola, doing wrong? That's like me saying, and I'm saying, yo guys, I'm really struggling financially. I'm going through it. A lot of people will sympathize with the fact that I'm financially going through something. Meanwhile, the reality is that traditionally and culturally, I still have to global. I still have to do that, you know. So, the hypocrisy that I have, especially with our sisters, our black sisters, is that it's 21st. You guys are not virgins. You guys have kids. Yet, abaningi basawufuna umemulo. You guys want the 21st year. You know, God, they need busy, jola, but in phone. So again, from a traditional point, we're not respecting tradition. Yet, when you want to pick and choose aspects of tradition, you jump. You guys don't truly understand the origin or the processes of how you go about this. You guys don't understand what iskoti do it differently. Isbongo do it differently. Yet, in 11 cows. You know, all these things, you know, from all members or to things that you pick and choose when it suits you, black female. When it suits you, black female, That is my frustration, and that is the hypocrisy that we have as a black community. I'm not saying that our tradition is perfect. I'm not saying our culture is perfect. I'm not saying that culture and tradition shouldn't also progress with time, age. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that for us, it's almost like they see culture as a buffet. I like this about culture. I like that about culture. That only benefits the man. Ooh, that only benefits the man. There's so many things that only benefit you. So again, guys, we need to understand it. It goes back with feminism. It's the same thing that annoys me and irks me with feminism. When, equal salary, everything must be equal. I must have an equal this, I must have, but then when you go out on a date, the guy must pay. When we have to run a household, he must carry the majority of the financial load. So you pick and choose when you want to be equal and when you not want to be equal. That's my frustration. So again, when I look at Nozipho Ntshangase, I'm saying, guys, you need to understand that there are processes. As far as I know, and I stand to be corrected, as far as I know, in order to touch this tape, you need to have been married customary, So when they say things like the first wife needs to agree, the first point is that you married customary. You married, meaning we understand usiko. You understand that there's potential of therefore being a second wife. It's great to get married customary because unlike civil, customary right off the bat means we are married in community of property. So obviously, if the guy is financially strong and they get married in community of property, customary law, obviously benefits the system. So as far as I know, if you are married civil, obviously then you have within your marriage discuss things like community of property, blah 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 blah. I'm not well versed in that law side, but as far as I know, if you're married civil, if you want to get a second wife, you now need to change this marriage into the initial marriage into customary law so that you can open up for isithembu. So osisi abashada ngesintu customary law, they have already agreed in principle to the option of a second wife. Whether the second wife happens after 2 years or after 20 years, but you've agreed to it. Again, I'm talking about from a principled signature initial point. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, people change. I know people in their 70s who are getting divorced. Things that I never thought would happen, but I see it happening now. The same way that this guy, 17 years later, he now wants to get a second wife. Things change, guys. And in society has the fucking audacity. And his side chick. You don't go to Zuma and talk about Zuma's wives and say I'm a side chick. This is usisi olocholiwe. Sihloniphe umndeni, sihloniphe bonke omama, sihloniphe nobaba, sihloniphe neingane. Sikanike sigxeka umuntu oyedwa noma sigxeka lona noma sigxeka izinto zomndeni asizazi the same way that owakho umjolo awufani umjolo wamakhelwane. And thina masibhizi sikhomenta ngowakho umjolo, subheka under microscope, sibuka ama video that you were recorded without your permission. Hey guys, singabona amanga, singabona amanyala. But it's without actually just taking a step back and looking at it holistically. Yebo Uma might be very grumpy and angry. We understand and sympathize. But whatever was discussed within the entire family. Because if she's that disgruntled, then you're going to divorce it. If she's that disgruntled, then you're going to separate. Legally, he still has to continue looking and contributing towards ingane zakhe. So ngempela uyakwazi maye kodwa usaphakathi kulomshado as far as we know. Meaning ukuthi njengoba kuyothathwa i-second wife kusho ukuthi i-first wife isakhona. Guys, you need to understand that ukuthi kusho ukuthi naye as usisi khona la evuma khona by izenzo of staying. You understand into ngizamukisho? So ngempela, let's just stop this thing of bashing. Lona, he's a cheater, guys, go back to your culture and your tradition. Ukuthi umuntu uzomthatha kanjani number 2. Again, is this thing of ukuthi ngibukana nama social media, ngibukana nama TV. Most of abantu have never ever sat down with mama no baba bashata is tape. As in personal now, and now your own personal journey of ukuma no baba Dlamini or namakhosikazi amathathu. Baba kanjani ukhulume no mama bashadele leyo nto. Most people bapereza because they watch TV uthando lwesithembu, and that's entertainment, guys. Abantu bapereza ngama social media, abantu ngizwe kuthiwa. Do yourself a favor. Go to find different people abashade kule situation and talk to different people. Talk to the kids, talk to the wives, talk to the fathers or the husbands. Talk to so many different people so that you can have your own experiences and knowledge instead of what happens kwamlotra is not necessarily the same as what happens kwaZwane. It's not necessarily what happens kwamimali, even though there is a certain umbrella that we are guided by. However, izinto ngeke isifane exactly the same way that owakho umjolo njengoba ujola kaChethi ngeke ufane nomjolo umuntu ojola le kwaDlamini. Asifane lezo zinto, guys. Understand. But when it comes to other people, Nila, let's stop being hypocrites. I'm trying to do better because I know what's in anyway. So I'm also trying to do better. Let's all try and do better. Let's make sure that we use our brain. We take a step back and look at it in its entirety. I'm not saying this guy is right. I'm not saying this guy is wrong. I'm not saying she's right. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm trying to say, clearly, there's more to this. But so we need to look out for everyone. So we need to look out for everyone, So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I know there'll be a lot of people that disagree because, again, you might see yourself in Zola, or Nozipho, sorry, or you might see yourself in Zola. A lot of people might disagree, and that's okay. That's how, as a community, we engage and we learn from each other. By having these disagreements respectfully and then engaging with one another, and say, okay, mina umbono wami unjena, understand wakho umbono, but isihlukile ngombono, and this is why. Thina ekhaya kwashada isithembu umama unumber 3 kanje so understand that okay, asikhulisane kanjani. Nama ngikho perfect. As I said, there's many things that I do not know, most things I don't know, but nami ngiyazama ukuyifundisa, and that's why we have these channels and that's why we have these interactions. Guys, ngiyanthanda. Please like, share, comment, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Anyway, you'll be right. Sure.